What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to be going through rewriting articles. So there might be a few different reasons of why you would want to rewrite an article, and we're going to go through a few of those examples inside of this video. We're going to go through a few of the benefits, and we're also going to go through some house rules, and then at the end of that I'll actually give you an example of how I would compose or construct a piece of content for SEO. So this is specifically for content writing, or whether you're building a website or a blog or something like that. Yeah, we're just going to cover everything that you need to know around article rewriting. First of all, if you are brand new to this channel, my name is Leon Angus. I'm an affiliate marketer from the UK. I regularly do affiliate marketing videos and SEO videos, anything to do with YouTube, affiliate marketing, or anything along those lines. You're probably going to find it on this channel. And I try to keep my information genuine, legit, and thorough. That's one thing that I feel is an edge over anyone else that you may see online. So if you are new to this channel, you may want to consider subscribing, and if you do enjoy the content, then make sure to leave me a thumbs up, or you could do that right now on this video as well. All right, so if you're excited, let's get into it. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, I wanted to go through a few of the benefits of why you would consider article rewriting in the first place. Okay, because why would you even want to do it? Okay, so there's two different scenarios in this example. One of them being that you own a piece of original content that you're trying to rewrite, and one of the other reasons being that you don't own it. Okay, so either you own it or you're sourcing it from a third-party website that's already showing up on Google's page results, and you're trying to rewrite it into your own words. So one of the main reasons that you would do this is to improve an existing article. So if you have an article that's been quite stagnant, and the way to identify this is if you're using like a rank tracker, say for example something like keysearch.co, you'd be able to see all of your existing rankings on current pages on your website. And when you see a page that's just hovering at a certain stage over the last 6 months or so, it's probably because your content needs updating, or obviously you might not have the correct link backlinks going to that page. Okay, but majority of the time improving your content is going to improve your rankings. So when you've identified this, and it might be a page within, you know, positions 10 or 8 up until like 50 or 60 or something like that, once you've identified that, you may come to a conclusion that you need to rewrite the article. This could be based on a few things, one of them being that your content is not up to date, you're not covering the correct subtopics, or it's not relevant anymore and it's outdated. So there's many different reasons of why you'd need to rewrite an article, but one of the key benefits is definitely that it will improve an article. One of the other benefits will be what I just touched on, that you have updated information on the article. So with the internet, everything's constantly changing, just like the world is completely dynamic. So your content that you write today might not be up to scratch in 2 years from now or 6 months down the road. So once you've identified that your piece of content is stagnant, or you would like to rewrite a piece of content, even if it is ranking very well, then you will have an updated, fresh piece that Google always loves, with new information and more relevant information to this present time now. Another reason is to help improve your rankings. So if the page is not ranking well, it can improve your rankings by you improving the actual piece of content with the subtopic coverage and having up-to-date, accurate information. And then it also increases your subtopic coverage. So you can see all of these are kind of tying into one another. Subtopic coverage, the reason why this is a lot better is because 6 months ago when you wrote the piece of content, or a year ago, you may have covered a certain amount of topics within your article, but then there may be more subtopics that you are now not covering because of the updated competitors in the top 10 page results, and you may need to increase the subtopic coverage or remove certain elements potentially if your content is too long. All right, so I'm actually going to show you an example of this at the end. So anything that you miss at this first part of the video or don't understand, then you'll probably obviously be able to get that answer later on in the video. Okay, so the second scenario is if you're trying to rewrite a third-party website owner's content. All right, so this is any kind of page showing up in a top 10, and the time when you would use this is for creating a brand new piece of content in your website. Now there are a few benefits to doing this, and one of them being is that you have good foundations to build your content from. So when you're trying to create a new piece of content, it's very difficult to understand what subtopics you actually need to include in the article. Well, if you go and check the top 10 page results on Google, it's already giving you evidence of what Google wants to see for the given keyword, unless you're targeting something that has no other kind of resources around that topic. But for the majority of keywords that you're going to target, you'll be able to see competitor websites and subtopic coverage that you'll be able to include within your article. Another great way to actually find some subtopics subtopics is to go to the related searches on Google at the bottom of the page, and then also asked for tab, where you can actually see other questions that are related to the topic that you can also include as subtopics within your article or in the FAQ section if you can't quite fit it within the article itself. The other reason and another benefit to doing this with a third-party website is that you have a proven strategy that Google wants to see. So the way that the actual content is laid out for the given topic, say for example we're trying to find like how to bake a cake or something, well, the actual initial steps might be, you know, to prepare your pan and prepare your mix or whatever it may be. And all of those things are going to be in a step-by-step format. But one of the key areas that is quite beneficial that you might not pay that much attention to as a content creator is keyword placement. So where the keywords are falling within the piece of content is also very important to Google. And in some cases, this can be more important than the keyword density itself. So how many times you place the keyword on the page. All right, so actually having it in the right format is very important, and the right structure is very, very important. By following the same sort of sequence or series as the top 10 ranking pages, you have a high chance at showing up highly for that keyword. Because if you're covering all of the same subtopics and then some of the top 5, top 3 or top 10 results, then you're highly likely to be a very great resource on the given topic. And what I usually tend to do is just combine like the top 3 or top 5 and just have like an ultimate resource. So all of the things that number 1's missing from 3 or 3's missing from 1 or so on and so forth from 2 or whatever else, I'll try and create an ultimate resource and then use that related searches and also ask for tab to just put together like all of the subtopics that I need to cover. So these are going to be my subheadings within the article, and then I'll have like an ultimate resource that's better than the 2, 3, 1 and whatever else. So that way you're touching base on all of the subtopics within that given piece of content. All right, so what we're going to do now is hop onto the computer. I'm going to go through some house rules, and then we're going to go through an actual example of putting together a piece of content that you would potentially rewrite for a given keyword. So we're going to do all of that and then some inside of this video. If you're enjoying it so far, please leave me a thumbs up on the video. Let's get onto the computer. Okay, so here we are in the computer. So if we actually take a look at these house rules, I'm just going to go through these points here. So one of them being, and this is for actually, you know, when you're rewriting the content, is copy ideas instead of words. So one of the things that you don't want to do is plagiarize any content, and you just don't want to copy anyone. It's unethical practice. So what you want to do when you're rewriting articles is not copy words and instead go for the paragraphs. And that actually leads into the second point. All right, so focusing on how the original writer composed their sentences or what words they use, focus on their ideas. All right, and then familiarize yourself with the meaning and understand exactly what the writer is saying. So what they're trying to get across, what's the point or the thing that they're trying to get the reader to leave with within a given paragraph. A lot of people fall into the trap of rewriting sentence by sentence, and this is bad practice and will give the likelihood of plagiarism. Instead, read chunks of text and rewrite it, okay? When your mind has more words to process, it's less likely to copy them word for word. Instead, it will be focused on extracting the ideas as opposed to the words. So what you want to do is, say, for example, how I just read this. The main thing I just got from this is to write paragraph by paragraph and not copy words, and instead read the whole thing. So if I were to go and write that now, I could go and write something that's specifically unique and completely different to these two sentences if I don't look at this again, but I understand the concepts, and that's exactly what you need to do. And then you want to add in your own ideas. So one of the best ways to do this, I'm going to use an example keyword inside of this for this video, but if we were to say how to clean a mattress, well, we've also got this here. So you don't even have to think of your own ideas yourself. Google's giving them to you. So people are also asking how to deep clean the mattress. How do you disinfect it? Okay, so disinfectant. You've got, can you spray? So disinfectant again, and then bedwetting specifically. So these are the things you could touch on. So you could then have a section on disinfectant. You could have a section on bedwetting, and then if you click this and close it again, it gives you more. So you got Febreze. So you could go into like common used products and whether they work or not. Or can you steam clean? That's another one. And then down here you've got more. So you've got baking soda. So these are like home methods, yeah, like homemade methods or recipes or whatever. And then you've got hydrogen peroxide and then baking soda, so on and so forth. So these are all more topics that you can actually add into an article. So what you would want to do is obviously, you know, I'll take you through the example in a second, but once you've got all the subtopics from the top 3 or 5 or whatever, and you've put that list together, you'll then go and add more topics in that they may be missing using these areas here. All right, but we'll go through that in a moment. If we then go into the last one, we've got provide writer with as many subheadings as possible. So if you're going to outsource this and get a writer to do it, then what you want to do is you want the writer to have as many subtopics as possible. And I do this with a brand new piece of content, or if it's being rewritten. I personally don't rewrite content like that much. I have done it in the past. I'm not going to say I don't, but a lot of the time I'm only doing it on my own articles now. But even if you're doing it on your own article, you still want to give the writer as much information as possible. But this is only on this scenario if you're creating a new piece of content from someone else's existing ranking content. You would want to give the writer all the subtopics, and the reason why is because you want it to generally flow the same way, and you want them to cover all the subtopics that Google want you to cover in order to rank. All right, so let's see what I wrote here. All you want the writer to do is fill in the blank, and honestly this is how I always get good content, because I just give them all of the subtopics, so that way they can't go wrong, because they're just going and filling in the blanks and writing it to the best of their ability. And of course you might give them a few tips like this, like for example, if I was to go down in this, we can see I'm telling them write in first person, the intro must be warm and friendly. You might tell them the word count for the intro, like 200 words or whatever, 150 words, and then tell them what the article's about, what the objective is, and then, you know, the kind of tone you want them to have, so on and so forth. So all of that can help them, you can see all of this as well, help them to write it in a way that you want them to write it in. And then share as many subtopics with the writer as possible, so they 100% follow your guidelines and produce a piece of content that will actually rank well. This forces them to also use particular wording that Google wants to see for the given keyword and subsections on the page. All right, so what this also helps with, again, is that Google wants to see certain words on the page, and if you've given them a particular subtopic, it forces them to use those words naturally, you know, and you want it to be natural. You don't want, like, you know, content that's just robotic and whatever else. You want it for them to just do their job and write content, but you want them to do it in a way that also helps you to rank. Okay, so that also reduces your work as an SEO after you've got the content back from them. All right, so let's move into an example. Let's take it from there. So if we're going to go over to here, I've got an example keyword that we'll use. Very high search volume, probably super competitive anyway. You got like WikiHow up here and all that stuff just up the top here, I saw somewhere. But either way, anyway, what we're going to do in this example is, if we were going to try and rank for this piece of content, or it might be this. Look, let's do this. How to clean a mattress with baking soda and vinegar. This would probably be lower competition, yeah? But I probably wouldn't even go for this with a new site anyway. You can still see these sites are still very high authority. Not this one here, because look, this is probably low traffic, because this gives me the overall domain traffic. So it's only 1,600 visitors per month on average. And this, if you want to know what tool this is a Google extension tool from Surfer SEO. So it's Surfer SEO's Google extension tool. And yeah, look, what I actually use is Mozbar to see the authority, and I guarantee that low traffic one will be the one that's low authority. All right, so now we've got the authority of each of these sites based on Moz's metrics. And as you can see, the ones with low traffic are the ones that have low authority. So this is an easy keyword. If I see like 2 or 3 of these low authority sites up here, it's probably something I'll go and try and rank for. Now, if I were to give you a little bit of additional help or information with keyword analysis inside of this video, is don't use this as the holy grail. Like, so sometimes you might see low authority sites or high authority sites, and sometimes you see a high authority site and all the metrics are saying it's very difficult, but they might not be on topic. So they might not be actually covering the topic that you're trying to write about, but that's your gauge and your take on that, because you also want to check within the article if they're covering it there. They might not have it within the title, but they may be covering it within the article. So that would force force you to then do a deeper analysis if you think it's something that you can't see them covering up here and you're like, okay, this is a potential opportunity. It doesn't mean it is an opportunity. You then need to dig deeper and see if it's ranking. But generally, if you see these low authority kind of sites popping up, then it's usually an indicator that it's relatively easy to go and outrank. Well, you definitely get past these articles here. Yeah. Okay. One other point I wanted to give is any kind of site that has low authority. I knew they had low authority before actually seeing the level of authority they had based on the traffic. And the reason why is because the ultimate reward that Google can give to you is traffic. It doesn't matter whether a site has authority or no authority or whatever. Google only rewards any sites with traffic. Yeah. So you could have like a DA 100 or whatever and get no traffic because Google doesn't like your site. So the ultimate reward that Google can give you is traffic. And I actually was watching a video recently of where someone made a reference to percentage of content or websites that get traffic on the internet, and out of the entire internet, which probably has billions of web pages, only 8% of those pages actually get organic traffic from SEO. So that's quite surprising, which is crazy, you know, so only 8%, less than 10% of sites actually get traffic. I don't know how that's measured, whether that needs to meet a criteria of over 1,000 visitors per month or whatever else, because there's 2 visitors a month traffic from Google. Not sure, you know, but that's probably over 1,000 per month, I'd say. But anyway, if we were going to put together a piece of content, what we would do, I usually open a Google Docs. So that's my best friend. And the reason why is because it auto saves and whatever else, but you could use anything else, Evernote, Google Notes, whatever it may be. What we're going to do is open this. And this is how I would do the keyword. So what we're going to do at the top, put the keyword in here, and then you're going to paste it. So that's the keyword. If this was for a writer, I'd give them the word count, maybe 3,000 words, whatever. How do I figure out the word count? I usually use either keysearch.co, which gives you like a good estimation of the top 10 sites. But now I'm using Surfer SEO. If we were to take a look at this, you can see that one's 700, that one's 1,352. I'd usually take an average of those two and then add like 10 or 20%. Because the reason why I'm actually, you know, now focused. Instead, I used to take the whole top 10, which Key Search does for you, and then take an average. But the reason why I don't do that anymore is because these ones might be ranking purely on the basis that they're very high authority sites. I mean, this one gets over 3 million visitors per month, which obviously is clearly a very highly authoritative website. This one is very high authority. Again, 22 million visits per month, you know, super authoritative website. So they might only write 200 words and still rank. You can see this one's only 400 words, which is ridiculously low word count. However, these sites have no authority. So the only way they are showing up for this keyword is based on the level of content that they've produced. So this is why we only put these and factor only these 2 sites into our equation, yeah, or analysis. And then we'll take an average of these 2. So what Surfer allows you to do is it gives you an average of those 2 numbers. But I mean, you could just take an average yourself, or you could go and use like some kind of free average calculator online, drum those 2 numbers in, and it'll give you some kind of average between the 2. It's only going to work out the 2, or you could add them up and then divide them by 2 and see what happens there. All right. But what we're trying to do is basically, if I were just looking at this, I'd say the average is probably 1,000. Yeah. Okay. Because we've only got 2, we usually want 3 at least, like within the equation to give us a true average. Usually for a question keyword like this, I would just do 1,500 words. So that's what I'll do for this. I'll do 1,500 words. You don't really want to be below 1,500 words on your content. So if you got like a question-based keyword like this and it's very quick answered, yeah, just do 1,500 words. Yeah, you don't need to worry about analysis in these kind of keywords. It'd just be 1,500 words. The general subtopics that we need to cover. If we actually look at this, one of the key things here is we can see that also for the snippet position, it's just giving a list of all the things. Yeah, so that's all these. Okay, so our subtopics are going to be H2s, are going to be in this. So this actually looks like it's under H3s. It's under H3s. So this is the H2 heading here, and then we've got H3s. So you want to generally follow the same system or flow. Yeah. So let's have a look at this. Again, this looks like H3s, and then it's under a H2. All right. So let's have a look at this one. This one has, again, a guide. They're going straight into the guide on this one. Very short article. Again, look, because they're ranking with authority, you can see it's ridiculously short. Like there's not even really any content on this page. So I wouldn't even factor that in. It's no good to us. And then let's have a look how to clean a mattress with baking soda. So we want to see something like this. This again is very short. Yeah, this is probably not one I would use in the equation. How to clean a mattress with soda and vinegar. So this looks more little bit more information on this, but not much again. So, so the first thing is we're going to go into an introduction and then looking after, so maintenance. That's what this says to me, looking after the mattress, maintenance. So you never want to copy the subheadings. You just want to take the topic. This is health or something like that, or, maintaining your mattress or whatever it may be. Yeah. What we're going to do is removing stains. Okay. So we might use the same wording on some of them. Like you don't want to copy them like really, but let's have a look. Professional mattress cleaning. So yeah, we don't need any more there. We're not on about professional. So this one is very good. This is probably the best one on this example to take any kind of subheadings from. So how to clean urine. Yeah. So removing urine stains, how to make an all natural, maintaining your mattress, and then removing stains to make a homemade mattress cleaning solution. Okay, so that would be something you might do there. And then as we come down, we're going to come down here. This is all the kind of things that you're going to need, ingredients or products, yeah, products that you will need. So list of products, clean a mattress, yeah. And this is a potential to get in some affiliate links. You could have on an informational article, baking soda, paper towels, empty spray bottle, all of that. Well, where they're going to buy that stuff, you could link out to that and get some affiliate commissions on an article on a how-to post, yeah. So that's a good way of quickly getting some commission. And then they've got like step-by-step of how to clean a mattress, yeah. Let's have a look. Removing stains. So this is the same thing, removing stains, how to clean a mattress, how to clean your mattress, guided steps, yeah. So that's what you would do. And now you've got that. So as you can see, we've got like a few subtopics, but to make this even better, we're now going to figure out what this is missing. So we've gathered this from the top ranking websites, yeah. And then if we go down, frequently, so these are FAQs. Can I use other type of things? So you might put, look, so here, why don't you just use a waterproof? Okay, so you might say, waterproof. So that's one sub FAQ. Then let's have a look at the other one. Let's have a look if they've got anything else. Tips for removing stains. Yeah, so they've also got like this removing stains thing as well. So this tells me that we need to be getting onto this. Yeah, so they've got stuff about pets and whatever else. So we are going to still keep general stain removing tips. And then you might cover like pets, bed, wetting, and so on. So you go and research other things, like odors. Let's have a look. Odors, unpleasant odors or something like that. Vomit, alcohol. Can you see? So you're providing all of this to your writer. So the writer comes in and knows all of this, what to do. So you got the word count. You give them all the tips of the general tone you want them to use, writing in first person, all of that stuff. And then they're coming in, they see all of this that they need to cover. And you always want to tell them that they're welcome to add any other subtopics that they feel are relevant, because they might pull out a few things that they're just writing. When they're in that zone, there's going to be things that come to their head that might not come to yours. If we actually take this thing off, because it's a bit annoying sometimes, we can see vinegar, baking soda. Yeah, so baking soda is something that well, that would have been in here. So that would have been one of them. Urine. So let's have a look at urine or urine. Sweat. Okay, so this could be sweat. So this is just a small add tweak, and let's have a look. So we're improving it here. Does baking soda and vinegar actually clean? How do I get my mattress white again? Okay, so this is trying to get it white. Okay, how do you get mattress with baking soda? How do you clean a dirty mattress at home? Okay, so it seems like we've covered the topics. What it is as well is a lot of the time for something like this that's only 1,500 words, you don't need a lot of subtopics. But if it was an example and we were missing a few things, you can see how we would find it. So you can see like dish soap, so you might say, is dish soap any good? That kind of thing, yeah? And then you're going to do a conclusion, and I'll give you my super secret tip for any conclusion. I just always write, this is what I would write for the writer, so this will be a tip for them. Make sure to tease the skim readers. Yeah, so just something like that, where you're basically just getting them to include all the information that that the person now knows. So the skim reader sees it and comes down and goes, oh crap, I need to go back and read, whatever it was that I missed out on, that I skimmed through. Okay, so that's what I do, and it works pretty well. And this is exactly how I would rewrite an article. So you can see it's completely unique, but at the same time, you're still giving your writer completely like fresh content to write, and you're still covering all of the subtopics and things that Google want to see. So this is giving you a very good piece of content to then work from. And then after that, if I actually had, so this would be 1500, by the way. If I had this, once I get this content back, then I would plug it into like the content editor on Surfer SEO, and then I would optimize it for how many times I need to put this keyword in the article and how many times I need to put like individual keywords, so on and so forth within the article, any related terms that need to be included. What you want to do is you want to list out, you want to make sure there's a list in here. So this is what you'd probably rank for in the snippet when you cover like steps. Put this in like that and make it thing, and then that way when the writer, even if they leave it in, you know to delete it because it's just in italic. And that's it. There isn't anything much more to it. You don't need to complicate this any further than it is. You'd also run it through Grammarly again after this is done, but if you just paste it in Word, Google Doc, it will bring up the spell errors. And that's generally the system that I use. So if you have any questions around this, then make sure to just leave a comment below. And also, like, if you do have more information or you enjoyed this video, then make sure to smash the like button. And if you'd like to know more, then I have a ebook that I actually sell for just $37. That's a kind of A to Z book on online affiliate marketing with niche websites and SEO. Plenty of information in there. I think it's 120 pages long, and I just go to town on everything I know on affiliate marketing with niche websites. So if you want to check that out, that will be called The Niche Site Amazon Secrets. And yes, it does also cover the changes of Amazon and how you can still monetize with third-party vendors and so on and so forth, all in the book. So there's lots of information in there. It's called The Niche Site Amazon Secrets, and you can check that out in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.